So guys, we are back as it is time to talk about another engine access. We have one focusing on a one card engine this time, which in theory can be combined with other cards, as we have BT-19 Impmon, and it will be the focus of today's video. So before I get into it, I just want to thank you all for joining the ad army. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Remember to like, comment, and let us know down below what you think of the videos. We are on engine access as the cards from BT-19 that will be in Special Booster 2.5 are going to be our main focus. We are focusing on one of the most powerful cards that happens to be a rookie and is going to be very budget, as we have BT-19 Impmon. Now, BT-19 Impmon is unassuming for many, as this card doesn't seem to raise a lot of people's attention, but I do want to talk about why this card is so good. So starting off, it has a 4 to play cost rookie, which is a bit strange, but it makes up for this with some powerful effects and a good inheritable. It's completely able to digivolve generically on any purple level 2, but its effect reads that on play, while you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one purple 4 cost or less tamer from your trash to the field. Additionally, its inheritable is retaliation. But that on play is exactly what you need to know, as this card's main powerful ability is to let you play tamers when it is played to the field. This is huge for many reasons, but it is most powerful because this is accessible to many different strategies, and many different decks will actually take advantage of this. The most important thing, as the color purple gets an amazing tool that it does not actually have access to, as there are some cards that do allow you to play tamers for free in purple, but purple has never had something like this that generically just deals with the ability to get multiple purple tamers into play at different times, as this will allow you to play up to 1, and then if you have one already, up to 2 technically to the field, but for many decks that's all you're going to need. As the decks that actually take advantage of this in purple are going to be a lot, as many in archetype decks that have purple tamers but have not been able to fully utilize them will be able to utilize this card. For instance, with the upcoming ghost strategy coming out of BT-20 that we have seen, this one will be able to utilize Impmon in order to gain access to Violet In Boots, a strategy that has already been in the game for a little while but definitely needs more support in the form of Ravemon. Definitely will let them play something like this Impmon because it will allow them to get access to Keenan Crier. Now, the main thing with this Impmon is that it does play tamers specifically from the trash, so you do need to load them into the trash before resolving it. However, in conjunction with some other cards and different effects and the color purple itself, this is one of the main reasons that this engine is so powerful. When you look at the ability of something like the standard dog engine that we see in the modern game, you are able to filter a lot of different cards. This now allows decks that were currently unable to utilize a mechanic like this to go ahead and send their tamers to the trash just so they can play out Impmon in order to get that tamer to the field. It's actually a very solid combo, and it's very good for card economy that a lot of decks will actually possibly use this, and it gives you the ability to tech this out, as it isn't uncommon, which is going to be one of its biggest benefactors. You can use this in so many different strategies. Main thing I want to talk about too with this is it carries a good inheritable in retaliation. Now, to some people, they might say, a lot of cards have retaliation. The main thing that makes Impmon from BT-19 so good with retaliation is that this is just a card with a very good effect. It can digivolve generically in purple, and more importantly, its inheritable is a good inheritable to give to any stack. That's one of the reasons why Impmon is definitely going to be loved. And I think that as an engine, you can find lots of purposes in it. When we look at the roster of decks that can utilize it, starting off, Purple Hybrid would definitely love to use this card. For 4 cost, it is definitely worth it as you mill with something like Beelzemon. This is a great hard play to bring back maybe your Koichis, or maybe Matashita if you're playing it, or even your AGs if you're playing the Purple Hybrid list with AG Nagasumi. The point is you're able to go ahead and get back all these tamers if you have one or fewer, and the main goal about this is that you can basically come back with this, and I think that's what makes this Impmon so good. In its home deck of Beelzemon, I think this does really well because BT-19 Impmon's ability to simply just go ahead and grab back the Ayamarcos that you may mill from the top of your deck is very good. Whether you play this back from an effect, which is really cool, something like the EX2 Beelzemon can let you play an Impmon when it's trashed, so in theory you could just mill that with this Impmon and already have the tamer in trash, or vice versa. Hit that EX2 Beelzemon, bring back the Impmon, bring back the Iron Marco, and next thing you know, you're off to the races. That's why this card is very good. Additionally, you can combine this with something like the option known as True Bonds of Love, I think it is. No, the Bonds of True Love. This is a 3-cost option that will be released in BT-19 as well. I only mentioned this card because technically you can just play without this card, but if you want to, it's still a very decent card for 3 costs. You can mill the top 2 cards of your deck. Then additionally, you place into the battle area. It has a delay effect that if you have no Digimon, you can use its delay effect and play Impmon from the trash. So the reason I really like this card is in Beelzemon, it's obviously meant for this deck, so it's going to be very good. But the main thing is if you wanted to play this as an engine in other decks, this does kind of take the place of something like a missed memory boost almost. Although you don't get memory back, the main thing is you can bring back Impmon, and Impmon can play Tamers, so it is very solid there. And then talking about one of the other decks that gets indirect support, which is very good, is going to be the Liberator-based Impmon or Dragon deck, which is Dark Dragons, based around Yuki. I think this is a great card to include, because now you have access to another Impmon that kind of facilitates the strategy. I think now something like Eismon Scatter Mode from EX7, or BT7 actually, is going to be a good inclusion for the deck now, because it is out 1, but if you can go ahead, trash a bunch of these card setups, and somehow get the Impmon back into the play, I think it's a very good addition to the deck, because now you can play Yuki for free. There is going to be technically 2 Yukis in the game, with the one from BT-20 in conjunction with the one that already exists from EX7. So if you see where I'm going with this, it is a fantastic inclusion for so many decks that now have access to using BT-19 Impmon, because it just does so much, even though it's just simply small. Now, I do want to talk about the fact that this is a good engine. I hope if you haven't known about this or haven't thought about using the card in this aspect, that you go ahead and give it a shot. Experimentation is always something very good in the game of Digimon, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or anything of the such, because card games really do need innovation. And I think this is a card where maybe people find ways to use it interestingly, as it buffs purple. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I do hope you enjoyed this one card from Engine Access, and you go ahead and tell me if you're looking forward to seeing BT-19 Impmon. Will you go ahead and try it out? Let me know down below in the comments below. But as always, this has been Brad from the Ad Army signing off. And for all of you out there, to sign on.